My dear students, today we shall discuss on question answers of this chapter Evans, Tries and O-Level. So now come on to page number 92. The first question is, reflecting on the story, what did you feel about Evans having the last law? Reflecting on the story. Reflecting means thinking. Understand? Thinking on the story, what did you feel about Evans having the last law? Or this question will be asked as, write the characteristics of Evans. This question will be asked like that also. And in that answer you will write how Evans was the last law. When you write the characteristics of Evans, certainly you will have to write in the last paragraph how he was the last law. Ashwini, what do you mean by last law? Evans was the last law. What do you mean? Be seated. Who will say?
It means Evans is the person who is happier in the end of the story.
Sit down. Very good. It means Evans is the person who was happy in the end of the play, in the end of the drama. Understand? This is dramatic lesson. Actually, this lesson is a dramatic lesson. Understand? Like play, like drama. So, such kind of lessons are written only by the very versatile authors. Understand? Very expert authors. They can write such type of lessons. So, who will give the answer of this first question? But again, if you want to give the answer by sitting. No. What did you feel about Evans having the last law? I think especially the youngsters must have the feeling with Evans, because this story is the story of suspense in the last. This story is really the detective story, and most of the students are busy in seeing the detective stories on the mobile, isn't it? So this is really you must feel and you must have the sympathy with Evans, because in this age such type of stories are very interesting, especially to the youngsters, because Evans was really, you will feel that really Evans was very talented. He was gifted with talent. He has smart brain. Understand? And master-minded person he is.
In this story, Evans is the main character of the story, and he is intelligent as well. He breaks the jail 3 times before. So, in this play, Evans' ideas are very much intellectual, and so the readers, as I am, we have an emotional communication with Evans, emotional connection with Evans. As he is happier at the last, so the one who is reading the story is also be happy.
Very good. Certainly you feel excited to read this story. you feel thrilling to read this story because you know the scene of Jackson when Jackson was checking McLeary, Evans in the room when he was checking especially Evans, and you know he said that something was hard, है ना? Something was hard with Mike Leary, है ना? At the waist of Mike Leary said that it was cap of spectacles, and when he asked about the hat of Evans said that it was his lucky hat. How daring feelings, how daring thinking Evans had at that time, है ना? You can understand, really Evans was very courageous, not only talented but also as courageous. And he was always ready to take the risk, to enjoy the risk. And by enjoying this risk, he had tricked over Jackson, Stephens, and all other officers of the prison. Understand? So certainly you must have the feeling of thrilling, the feeling of excitement, because by tricking over all the employees of the prison, even the governor, the senior officer Jackson, Stephens, and you know the ring of the policemen and others, not only them but also the detective superintendent, the detective chief inspector, all others. He befooled and he escaped from the jail, from the prison, and when he was caught by the governor in the hotel, at that time also, the condition was, the situation was, you can say, very, you know, deplorable, anxious, especially for Evans. But Evans had made a well planning before it. He had guessed, he had conjectured that there, when he went to the hotel, might be the governor present there. He had already thought it, and that was there. And in the hotel also he befooled the governor, and he escaped the grip of or the custody of the governor from the hotel also. In this way, Evans proved himself the last love in this story. The last love means the last happy man, who was to love in the last. And contrary to it, the governor was proved to be good for a giggle, a gullible governor, है ना? और दूसरी ओर गवर्नर क्या सिद्ध हुए? गवर्नर सिद्ध हुए एक laughing stock, good for a giggle means he proved to be a laughing stock, है ना? And just a simpleton governor, just a slack-minded governor. In the last, the governor was proved. In this way, I have killed two birds with one stone. I have killed two birds with one stone. By this question, I have given the answer of two questions. The first and the third question. And the second question is, when Stephens comes back to the cell, he jumps to a conclusion and the whole machinery blindly goes by his assumption without even checking the identity of the injured McLeary. Does this show how hasty conjectures can prevent one from seeing the obvious? How is the criminal able to predict such negligence? Now, you can ask the difficult words from this passage. The words you know,
Hasty conjectures.
hasty. Hasty means hurry. Conjectures. Conjectures means guess or guesses, you can say. Understand?
Negligence.
Negligence. Negligence means the negative things, है ना? The ignorable things. And anything more? Don't give any kind of result. You can ask if you don't know the meaning. Conjectures, guesses, premonitions, purvanuman. Understand? Negligence means means very tiny things, very ignorable things. Understand? हड़बड़ाहट, nervousness, nervousness, confusion. Did you understand the meaning of the question? Pradyumna, tell the meaning of the question in Hindi.
I'm explaining it from there. Does this show how hasty conjectures can prevent one from seeing the obvious?
And the above lines?
Above line, according to the situation. जब स्टेफन सेल में वापस आया तो बिना उसने कोई चेकिंग के मैक्लेरी को ये मान लिया कि वो कोई और ही है और उसने ये सोच लिया बिना किसी चेकिंग के कि इवेंट्स यहाँ से स्टेप कर चुका है मींस इवेंट्स रूम में नहीं है विदाउट एनी चेकिंग
उसने चेकिंग नहीं किया बिना चेकिंग के उसने मैक्लेरी मान लिया उसको कि मैक्लेरी घायल हो गया है समझिए ना बिना किसी चेकिंग के बिना चेक किए हुए उसने मान लिया कि मैक्लेरी घायल हो गया और उसके बाद उस जेल की सारी मशीनरी आंख बंद करके मान ली कि वह इंजर्ड मैक्लेरी था है ना किसी ने चेक नहीं किया कोई मैक्लेरी था कि इवेंस था एंड रियली ही वाज इवेंस really he was Evans but sit down but when Stephens came back to check for the last to check for the last and through the people he saw that there was a man in the guise of McLeary who was injured and who was spattered with blood from head to tail. Then Stephens, without thinking, thoughtlessly, without any checking, he assumed that he was McLeary. Understand? And the whole machinery of the prison also assumed that he was McLeary. And why? Because they had made a hasty conjecture. They had made a hasty conjectures. Their guess was in haste, in hurry. Understand? Say here. So, does this show how hasty conjectures can prevent one from seeing the obvious? Means, obvious means? The clear thing, the real thing. Obvious means the clear thing, the real thing. Understand? How is the criminal able to predict such negligence? Such negligence means, why it is negligence? Because all the employees of prison neglected it. They neglected the reality. And how could Evans' premonition predict about such things? How could he understand that all the employees of the prison would conjecture in haste? How could he read it? How could he calculate it? That all of them would make a hasty conjecture and they would neglect the reality. How could he calculate it or guess it? Yes?
And Evans is very intelligent, and we can see it in the whole drama or play. In this part, Evans dressed himself like McLary. So when Stephen came and see McLary at his first sight, he see Evans, but he thought it's McLary because he dressed as McLary. And after first sight, he thought Evans ran away or break the jail. So, as science also says in Hattie, people minds don't concentrate. They cannot concentrate and make clear decisions. And so, Stephen goes and tells everyone that Evans.
Sit down. I think most of the students are players here and they play the cricket. The bowlers and the batsmen, if they have faced again and again in earlier days, so certainly the bowler understands all the activities of the batsman and the batsman understands all the activities of the bowler, and they can guess. Primarily, they can guess if the bowler starts his run up. To see the hands of the bowler, the batsman understands which kind of ball it will be, and he is ready to face it cleverly. In the same way, you have seen that already Evans had broken the prison for three times. And already he had been treated with all the officers and employees of this jail. He knew very well about the talent of Jackson, Stephens, the governor. For three times he had made the governor a foolish one. He had tricked over all other employees of the prison 3 times earlier. That is why he could understand what will they ignore, what will they neglect. Understand? Because he was already familiar with all of them. And already he tricked over all of them. Already he had faced their cleverness. That is why he was successful in making them foolish. Understand? Already he could understand about these negligences because not only he was a clever man, but already he had faced them for three times beforehand. Understood? Not? Understood? And the third question already I have told you. See the question. What could the governor have done to securely bring back Evans to prison when he caught him at the Golden Lion? The place. We shall divide this question into two parts. This is first part. And the second part is, does that final act of foolishness really prove that he was just another good for a giggle, gullible governor? That was all. So first of all, you will give the answer of the first part. Read the question again. Because if your content is wrong, I would say that the examiner can give you 0 marks. If your content is wrong, the examiner can give you 0 marks. The marks of content, the marks of expression and other things. Why? Suppose I am asking you about Diwali and you are writing about Holi. Your content is quite wrong and you deserve for 0. Understand? So you should read the question carefully. Understand? Then you should write the answer or then you should tell the answer. So what would the governor have done? What is the meaning in Hindi?
गवर्नर ऐसा क्या कर सकते थे?
हाँ, गवर्नर क्या कर पाया होता, क्या कर सकता था, कर सका होता, to securely bring back Evans to prison. सुरक्षित इवेंस को सुरक्षित पुनः जेल में लाने के लिए क्या कर सकता था, क्या कर सका होता? When he caught him at the Golden Lion. जब उसने गोल्डन लायन में उसको पकड़ा, और क्या कर सकता था उसको सुरक्षित लाने के लिए?
When he got Evans in the Golden Lion, he could be himself with Evans and his high rank officer, so that Evans cannot plan to run away.
Sit down. Anybody else? In the Golden Hotel, again, the governor believed in the receptionist, he believed in the driver and that prison officer, and he did not try to see the face of the prison officer carefully. He did not try to see the face of the driver carefully, and the driver was silent, the prison officer was silent, he did not care it. Understand? And he did not try to check whether it was the same receptionist or it was the changed receptionist. Whether the driver was not his man or the prison officer was not his man. All these factors, all these points, the governor neglected again. Understand? And he neglected all these things in overconfidence. He thought that everything is right and in his favor. But on the other hand, again, events made him fool, befooled him, tricked over him, and he escaped from the custody of the government. Understood? This is the answer of this part. And the second part is, does that final act of foolishness really prove that he was just another good for a giggle? Already I have told you the answer of this part. while we condemn the crime, condemn means
कंट्रोल
huh?
नहीं करना खुद करना अंडर
बहुत कंडम आदमी को यार. Condemn means to censor, निंदा करना, to blame, to censor. CENSURE है ना? To censor, to condemn, निंदा करना. While we condemn the crime, we are sympathetic to the criminal. एक तरफ निंदा करते हैं, दूसरी तरफ सहानुभूति रखते हैं उनके ऊपर, है ना? तमाम लोग देखो मर्डर करके जाते हैं और उनके पक्ष में तमाम लोग सहानुभूति, हाँ? We are sympathetic to the criminal. Is this the reason why prison staff often develop a soft corner for those in custody?
No. The prison officer developed a soft corner for them who were in his custody because they are together with them for a long time and they have a connection between them.
But they are criminal and they are in your custody, in the custody of the prison officers. Then why do they develop soft corner for these criminals?
Because they are alone in the prison and they have someone to talk for taking away their loneliness.
Sit down. Sit down. You are at the right point. You are at the right point. Obviously, we condemn the criminal, but we live or we stay for a long time with these criminals and we talk to them, we communicate to them. Such there is naturally, you can say instinctively, the sense of soft corner comes in the mind of the officers also, because they are also the human being at all. After all, they are also the human being, the mankind. They have heart. Their heart is not like machine. Huh? Their heart is not the machine. Because machines are feelingless. But actually they behave with the criminals strictly. Understand? But after all, they are also mankind, human beings. As he said, for living a long period with them, talking to them, sharing their communications to them, their happiness and their worries to them, naturally the sense of soft corner comes in their mind, develops in their mind, and they become a bit of soft. They become a bit of soft towards them, and sometimes taking the advantage of this behavior, these criminals get away from their custody. Understood? Taking the advantage of this behavior, this attitude of the prison officers, they are released from the prison. They are successful in escaping the prison. Understand? And fourth question is, the fifth question, do you agree that between crime and punishment it is mainly a battle of wits? Wits means wisdom. Wits means thoughts. Understand? Wits means wisdom, thoughts. So do you agree that between crime and punishment it is mainly a battle of wits.
Yes, I agree that crime between crime and punishment is a battle of it, because someone near you, if someone do a crime who is near you or is communicated with you somehow, so you have a soft corner with them, and their crimes must you should not punish. You will not punish him for that much. For that
Kartikeyan, the question is something and your answer is other thing. Understand? The question is something and the answer is other. See here. Sit down. It is crime. Understand? Ab now, when a criminal comes to the judge, comes before the judge, comes in the custody of the police, then there is a battle in the mind of the police or the judges. How much punishment should be given to this crime? Does this battle take place in the mind of the judges, policemen, criminal, and other officers who are in the court? Understood or not the meaning of the question? Understood? So really, whether it is a judge or the policeman or any other person who is sitting on the high seat in the court, he thinks to provide the punishment to the criminal in the ratio of, in the proportion of his crime. Understand? Suppose he had not done the murder. Understand? So he will not be given the punishment of a murderer. He will not be given the punishment of a killer. Understand? So such kind of battle takes place in the mind of the judges and the people who are, or the person who is sitting on the judgment seat.
So it means everyone has a different perspective for the same crime, and for them punishment.
It depends. It differs mind to mind. You are judge. I am judge. You have own talent. I have my talent. My own talent. Understand? Mind to mind, the punishment differs. For example, I am a teacher. I teach you English. The other teacher will come and he will teach in other style. Sit down.